Well, welcome everyone to the Elite Dangerous role-playing game presentation. My name is John Lunn. I'm the producer of the RPG, and I'm joined up here at the front by the other bloke from Spidermind Games. He's the other chap in orange. That's Oliver Hume. He is our lead writer on the project. I'm also joined up here at the front by an elite collection of some of the finest role players in the galaxy. Or at least I was going to be joined up at the front by an elite group of the galaxy's finest, but they couldn't make it. So instead, I've been joined by the Lave radio crew, who have agreed to participate in a live stream of the fourth part of an adventure, the incident at Baijangu. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, this has been already released as a three-part serial podcast, and this part is going to be the fourth and final episode, played for you here live. So any deaths that occur will be done in real time.
He's looking at me.
Yeah, no names mentioned. Well, we've got about an hour left of this, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to very quickly run you through just a few sneak peeks and juicy bits, bring you up to date with where we are with the RPG, and then hand over to the main part of this afternoon's entertainment, which is going to be handled by Oliver. And then at the end, if we've got time, we can then open the floor up to any questions if you have any. If we don't have time and you do have questions, we'll be here for the rest of the weekend, and you will be able to spot us. It's not like we're not obvious. Big thanks goes out to the Lave Radio crew for agreeing to be our guinea pigs for this playtest. This is the second one they've done, so obviously they either like it or they're just too kind and nice to say no. And also thanks to Radio Theatre Workshops for putting together such a phenomenal edit on the three podcasts. Anyone who's listened to them, I'm sure you'll agree, they're a very good quality. Okay, moving on then to the update for Elite, the role-playing game. Well, the EDRPG was launched in January. For those of you who don't know, we launched a Kickstarter, and at the time, we were looking to make an RPG that we felt the universe of Elite Dangerous deserved, and so we wanted to make a professional RPG, one that could sit on the shelves next to something from Wizards of the Coast and actually hold its own. So as a result of that, we asked for a whopping 45 grand from the community. We didn't get that. We ended up getting 86,500. So anyone who backed us, thank you very much. So we are in the process now of completing the core book. It's been written, it's been passed under the nose of the editor for its first run, and now it is with the designer. And our designer has done some stunning work. Up here you can see the character sheets. And here we have commissioned some artwork from some names that you'll probably recognize. Josh Badger Attack did a lot of work for Frontier Developments when they were first putting together their own Kickstarter. Well, here Josh has done us one of the chapter headings. Each chapter heading comes as a full double-page spread commission of Josh's work, and this one is the Galaxy Chapter 5. The main book itself, the layout's going to be relatively simple. We've chosen to go for a nice design. If anyone downloaded the playtest that was made available when we first launched our Kickstarter, you'll probably recognize some of the headings and the subheadings. And off to the right on this bit about character creation, you'll see one of our tables. Character creation, when you start off in the world of Elite Dangerous, to create your character, you choose 5 backgrounds. Those backgrounds will then add certain points to your skills, increasing that particular skill. You can either do it by choosing a character that you wish to portray, or, as you can see there are numbers attached to it, you can let the dice decide for you. So it's completely up to you when you
Don't do that. Don't.
This is some of the further work that we've done on character creation. You'll see the artwork here. This has been commissioned by an Elite fan and an art student called Kevin Massey. Some of you may know his work. He actually is available to commission from commanders who send a photo of themselves, and he will paint you a picture of you in front of your ship for a small fee. I'm not advertising that today, but he's also agreed to do some pictures for us. So you can see here a few of the backgrounds that you can possibly choose from. And then in the little blue boxes underneath are what skills are increased. So for example, our accountant, your dodge and bluff skills go up.
I should have taken cheerleader. I didn't realise that was an option.
You should have taken cheerleader, yeah. We have commissioned other bits of artwork, which will be, this book will be laden with artwork. We reached a stretch goal, which allowed us to commission extra work. So there are just under 200 pieces of artwork that we have commissioned separately. Some from Josh Attack, as you saw earlier on. Kevin Massey is doing some paintings for us. And a gentleman by the name of Henning Ludvigsen is doing some art for us. And unless you're a sci-fi art fanatic, you probably won't recognize his name, but you will know his work. He has done quite a lot of work for Star Wars, and especially the new Star Wars RPG. So some of his work will be released a little later on. And as a little coup, on Friday, we managed to get hold of Robin Smith. Again, a name might not be familiar, but his work will, because he's one of the lead artists on 2000 AD. He is Mr. Judge Dredd. So he's going to be doing some pencil vignettes for us to fill the book up with some nice action shots as well. And just to finish off, here's a nice bit of work that some of you might have seen because we have already been tweeting this out, but this is Kevin doing a great city shot. But again, it's just to give you an impression of the way the book will look. Obviously, it's not finished its design process. We may decide to go for some watermark in the back, may decide to color the pages, perhaps not have them so clinically white, but all of that stuff is what's going on at the moment. As far as release is concerned, we were hoping, during our Kickstarter campaign, we had a plan to get everything published and out to our backers by August. As I'm sure some of you will know, we were interdicted mid-campaign by a copyright claim. But thankfully, like the original Thargoid interdictions that people have been experiencing, thankfully, we were interdicted. No sooner were we interdicted, but we were subjected to some unintelligible noise, and then the blame and the source of the interdiction then just buggered off. So we were able to continue our Kickstarter campaign, and we went through to the end. But unfortunately, what side effect that has had is our designers and artists have had other work to do. That's rude, but they do. So they've had to push back their production schedules. And also, we've just recently learned that the printers had us booked in for a window that we now cannot achieve. So we've had to go back and join the line. So unfortunately, it looks like PDF ready by the end of August. Hopefully, that's no problem, and we'll be emailing those out. But a physical delivery now looks like it's going to be pushed into September, for which we are hugely apologetic, but unfortunately, it's just one of those things. But without further ado, that's enough of me bumping my gums. I will now hand over to Oliver, who will introduce you to the main event.
And I think as well, I should just provide a slight brief warning for those of you that have listened to the podcast. Well, for those of you that haven't listened to the podcast leading up to this part 4, good luck. For those of you that have listened to the podcast, you will have heard how decisive we are, how quickly we make decisions, how immediately we roll for checks. Yeah, we actually played 4 hours of game, and I cut it down to 3 hours, and I didn't actually cut much content, so I basically cut an hour of thinking time and scrambling for dice out. You all get to experience all of that live today. Yay!
Right, okay, so this is part 4 of Incident by Junko. It's...
I'm trying to cut down.
Grab some dice, you'll need some dice.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Okay, for those that haven't heard the first 3 parts, the Lave radio crew have been employed to go and check out a place called Learman Station on a terraforming world called Baijangu. And when they arrived at the installation, it was very quiet, and they started to find a number of dead bodies. It had been attacked by a group of unidentified mercenaries and some very strange kind of animal-like monsters. Beautiful, thank you. Very good. Oh, right, well.
Tell me what it is.
Turn the camera around, it'll be fine.
Keep looking.
Much worse.
After exploring the base for some time, and getting into a number of fights, they discovered that the leader of these mercenaries was down in the dig site of Learman Station. They also discovered that the reason why Learman Station had been attacked was because it was a planet-based osmium mine, which is very unusual. You can normally only get osmium in asteroids. It's quite uncommon in a planetary crust. So they made their way down there through a rather perilous tunnel full of various kind of traps and other unpleasant things, and launched an attack on the mercenaries, which was going really well, right up until the leader escaped on a monorail, and Commander Thane decided it'd be a good idea to chase the main baddie and leap on the back of the monorail train. And he's subsequently been shot in the chest, and also had an eye gouged out by one of the bat hawks, which is now infesting the facility. So we'll rejoin the action, which I think with the rest of the crew. So Edelweiss and Psycho Cow. Also, we should be joined by Commander Fozzer Forrester, but he's obviously nipped off to the loo. So he has vanished for the moment in the confusion of the attack. However, one thing that you guys do here, as you're all preparing to make your way back to the maintenance tunnel, you've heard that Thane is in a great deal of trouble, so you're going to try and sort of reach him back on the main base. As you're making your way back to the mineral transfer tunnel, you can hear a rhythmic thumping sound coming from a door just right up in sort of the top wall while you're in the kind of large cargo mineral deposit area. Now, you can either ignore this thumping or you can go and check it out. What would you guys like to do?
Psycho Cow, have you seen Fozzer? Where's he got to?
I don't know, but I think it'd be really handy to go and check out what that hellish noise is up there.
I'm not under his rent, to be honest.
So just send them anyway.
Would you like to go and check?
We'd really like to send Fozzer to check.
Yeah,
You want to
he's
send
always
Fozzer
first in the line.
to check the thing? Okay. Well, you look around for Fozzer, and he seems to have vanished.
Damn.
Where
What's he
has
like?
gone? Sorry?
What's he like? Just vanishing in the middle of things when we need him.
Well, he doesn't have very tight bladder control. So, as been proven in the other adventures.
All right, we better check out this noise.
Should we go have a look then?
Yeah. You go first.
No, you've got a bigger gun than me.
Is this recording?
So,
I'll go first. Well, no, you've got more health points than me. I've still got a hole in my back.
And that's got more health points than you.
Okay.
right, with his metaphorically bigger weapon, Psycho Cow makes his way over towards the door. You can actually see, it says above it, cargo lift. You press the door to open up the chamber, and right now, be excellent. If you have a sound effects machine, you could do it with the sound of a door opening. Thank you very much. The door opens up, and there you can see there is a cargo lift there. It seems to be currently deactivated, but stuffed into the corner, there is the familiar figure of Commander John Stabler tied up in the corner, and quite conveniently, for the purpose of this podcast.
You kinky bugger.
I was lucky we checked.
What would you like to do? Do you have anything to say, John?
Guys, what the hell are you doing here?
More to the point, what the hell are you doing here all tied up?
I'm tied up.
That's what he said.
Oh, I thought she was just giving me the extra bit I normally paid for free.
There may need to be some editing on this podcast. Before okay. Okay, would you like to release Mr. Stabler from the left?
Oh, definitely
Yeah.
not. No, we will, because we need that extra person, and his health might come in handy. And John, you're quite courageous, aren't you? Are you going to take Foz's cut of the money at the end of this, or is...
I've got his stats, and that's it, I'm afraid. I got a laser
Do you have a big
pistol.
weapon?
I'm not going to tell you where I hid it.
Okay.
With a first aid pack. That's all I've got on me.
You got a first aid pack?
Yeah,
Where were you when I needed you?
I know. And I'm glad I managed to sneak that past the GM as well.
Okay, Edelweiss, it occurred to you in the long gap between episodes that you might want to link the computer controls down in the mining center to your wrist comm.
Okay.
So that if you wanted to, for instance, access
I can
your
remote
ships,
access it.
you could remote access.
That
Would
sounds
you like to do that?
I think that's an excellent idea.
That's fine. Okay, you set about doing that. While he's doing that, this cargo lift it appears to be currently deactivated. Do either of you two want to try and unlock it?
I mean, I'm not sure. John, was that thumping you?
Yeah, I was rolling around.
Just before we open up a cargo crate, because there's an awful lot of large and scary animals around here.
And not so large.
I don't particularly want to be keen to open it. Ben, you open it.
I'm busy doing things on my tablet again.
But you've got the skills.
If Commander Thane was here, he'd open it straight away.
All right, I'll open it. Let's go for it. We'll try it.
Okay, lovely. Would you like to make a repair check, please?
Oh, gold. Well,
Find down your vehicle skills.
yeah, that's a nice big bonus of 1.
Excellent. You
Sorry, Grant.
3.
3, so that's 4 in total. Okay, no, so you fiddle with the controls, but unfortunately there is no action. We're going to move back to the more dramatic Thane, I think, because he's in a better position. Right, Thane, you're hanging on the end of the monorail as it kind of is riding along. It's making a very loud kind of scraping sound as you're going on past. The Bat Hawk that had plucked out your eyes, you can feel that it's still on your body. Another moment, you're desperately sort of shielding your eyes from it so that it can't get your other eye. You're still blinded. You're just seeing this kind of a large red mist in front of your eyes, and the pain is sort of slightly short-circuiting your brain a little bit. What would you like to do?
Point blank auto pistol shot.
Okay, right, so you reach around with your auto pistol and try and shoot the Bat Hawk on your back. This can't go wrong. Make a kinetic weapons check.
All right.
So this will be short range. The Bat Hawk, because it's not flying, only has a defense of 2.
Is there anything lower than short range?
No, there isn't. This is as close as it gets. So what's your short range difficulty number?
5.
So 5. Okay, so you will need a 7 to hit the Bat Hawk.
But I got a bonus of 2. 11.
11, very good. Okay, right, so that is 4 over. So you can inflict 3d10 points of damage on the Bat Hawk. You've filled it with bullets. That sounds disappointing.
There's a 7, 9.
9, that is enough. It only has 5 endurance. Okay, so you hear the Bat Hawk go, and just kind of it falls off your back and plunges down. You hear various kind of other fluttering sounds nearby. You feel that your hands are getting very weak. Would you make a perception check?
Okie dokie. My perception is... I've scrawled all over this so much.
Shouldn't he half his perception if he's got one eye missing?
Shut up.
Fortunately...
First rule is you never give the GM ideas.
Fortunately, this is a listening perception check, so it doesn't matter.
8.
8. Okay, you can hear that up on the ship, the chap Cameron is having an argument with someone on his wristcom. And you hear him say, "What do you mean the ship's locked down?" He goes, "Well, go and unlock it." He goes, "Don't you have a fusion torch or something?" Right, you can hear his footsteps approaching you, and you feel a heavy hand grasp your arm and suddenly start hauling you up. Are you going to allow him to drag you into the monorail?
I'm gonna... Oh, it's such a difficult choice. Because I'm thinking of another idea and it might be really bad.
Well, what do you want to do?
Is he leaning over and pulling me up?
You think so, but you can't see him. You can feel there's a pressure that's hauling you up, and his hand on you.
Yeah, I'm injured. I'll let him take me.
Okay, right. You feel him haul you into the carriage, and you sort of collapse down to the corner. Your kind of body is shaking because you're in so much pain. You can hear sort of like a clicking sound, and he says, "Don't move. What's your name, kid?"
Thane.
All right, Thane. You get me in contact with your friends, nice and quick. Be quick now, boy.
You need to shut the explosives down. No one's going anywhere.
I can arrange that. But first, you get me in touch with your people. Now, Mr. Thane.
Okay, I'll give him my wrist comp.
Okay, right. You hear him sort of grab it and press the button. All right. You hear suddenly, you three guys hear of your rescomms. Magically, your communications device is now just, linked in with theirs. It's amazing. And you hear, "This is Cameron Uthgard. I've got your friend Thane here. You unlock my ship right now, or I fire this shotgun point blank into his head."
Do it.
Ben,
I like your style, kid.
it's for you.
Good, but I ain't bluffing. Right, Thane, your vision is starting to return in your other eye. You're sort of looking up at Uthgard. His gun is pointed right to your head. But then you see something beyond him. You can see that the monorail track seems to have broken away ahead. It's broken and it's listing down. Now, Cameron can't see this, but you can see it. If this monorail carries on, it's going to go right over the monorail track and fall after some particularly heavy shuddering. You can hear that Cameron begins issuing a countdown. 10, 9.
Do it, you chicken.
Ben, no, come on. We can. It's all right. Just, it's fine. You can always lock it down again. Just go. Yeah. We're doing it. Yeah, hold on. We just need a few more minutes. Ben, come on.
Minutes. You do it now. You do it now, boy.
No.
You can see that the monorail is coming up towards the edge very, very soon. You guys can't, but Thane can. He goes, "Unlock now."
You've got these explosives that are going to be going off. I'm not doing nothing.
You can deactivate those explosives. It's real easy. All you have to do is, suddenly there's a... the whole monorail shakes, and there's a sound. Thane, you can see that the emergency brakes are trying to slam on the monorail track above, but it's not going to make it. It's going to slide off any moment. What would you like to do?
I've no idea.
Make a perception check.
Perception check. Yeah.
Yep.
Give me a clue. Oh, good. Yes. I was getting thrown when I roll a 0 on a D10. No, that's 14.
14, that's very good. Okay, looking up, you can see that from where the grenade was tossed inside the monorail carriage earlier, the kind of top hatch has blown completely clear. You might be able to jump up and try and grab the monorail directly above you, and therefore survive the incoming crash.
Sounds good. Is he off balance?
Yes, you can see that he's staggered back, and his shotgun is sort of to the side.
Can I impressively kick him in the chest and use the weight to parkour up onto the ceiling?
That seems amazing. Okay, so make a fighting check. He's off balance, so you only need to meet your finesse number, which is 5.
Oh, fighting. Okay, yeah, 2.
How'd you do?
4.
4. That's a shame. Okay, right. You give him a kick, but he kind of quickly recovers. You can see that he sort of lunges for you. You're going to have to make your jump now. If you're going to do this, you've got to do it now, because the monorail is falling over in seconds.
Yeah, I'll jump.
Right, make an athletics check.
My athletics is good. It's not going to be, is it? Where is it? I can't find it.
It's down in espionage, I think.
It is, yeah.
4 again.
4. Right, okay, you jump up for the rail and you just sort of grab onto the side, but the way that the monorail moves, it kind of shifts it out of your grasp. There's a terrible... The monorail suddenly tips over. Cameron Uthgart grabs uselessly onto your leg, hoping that you're going to grab onto the monorail above. Your hand slips out, and the monorail car descends. You can all hear on your comms a...
Oh, well.
That sounded rather final. Okay. What would the rest of you like to do now?
Well, I think we're going to... Thane? Are you all right? Thane?
Doesn't sound good.
Nadia would be happy.
Oh, I hope he's not dead. I lent him 200 credits only last week.
Okay.
How long do we have on these explosives, by the way?
Would you like to go and check the timer?
I think that would be a very good idea.
Okay, you make your way over towards the timer, and you have a look. You have 1 minute and 57 seconds before the base detonates. You have to get your ships in that time.
Everyone into the thingy? Deactivate them.
Well, he said it would be easy to deactivate them.
You did say it would be easy to deactivate them.
If you believe him, what's up?
He said it would be easy, and he was about to tell you how to do it. But you've missed your chance. Now, you can desperately have a look over the controls, or you can start to run. What would you want to do?
Well, we need to make a run for the ships then.
Should we run?
Yeah, let's run.
Right, so you've got two ways of getting back. You can't go through the monorail. You can either go through the mineral transfer tunnel with its various stampers and fiery jets, or you can try and reactivate the cargo lift.
What are you going to go for?
I know what's in the mineral stamp thing.
Yeah,
I don't trust him in lifts anymore.
No, yeah, some bad
I've got bad
experiences.
experiences with Oliver.
You'll
Okay,
be quite safe. Well, look, that was just the once, and
Can I opt to
I
make this more
apologize.
interesting? Sorry. Those two are going to run for their ships. Can
Right.
I try and defuse the bomb?
Yes, of course you can. Make a grenade check. This covers your explosive skill as well. See if you
Well-
can figure it out.
We'll remember you.
It's under personal combat. G for grenade. It's in alphabetical order. That might help. Up there. It's that one there that says grenade next to it.
All right.
4. Okay, so you have a quick fiddle, and you can see the countdown timer starts to increase in speed.
Sorry, guys.
Right, okay, so you've got a bit less time. Fortunately, these two have started running already while you're sort of standing looking there. Which way are you going? The tunnel or the lift?
We're going to try the lift.
Right, you run into the lift. It's still deactivated. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Right, reactivate it then.
You want
On again?
to make a repair check, please.
This is. While I'm looking for this, I'm shouting, John, get over here. We might need you for repairs.
It's okay. I know I can do this.
Go, he's going to another go. Quick, get this lift going.
I don't know what my repair is.
Eight.
This might be quite a brief adventure from the sounds of things.
Where's repair under?
Repair is under vehicle skills.
Oh, I've got bonus of 3.
Excellent, make a roll.
Okay.
8. Okay, right. You press kind of various buttons and you reattach the power in various areas. Suddenly, the lift goes green. John, you can see the lift is suddenly starting to raise. Do you want to stay by this explosive?
Stabler!
I've got to save my friends. You know, if I die, then
Damn, that's heroic. Okay, make another grenade check. That's a 7, and add your bonus. What's your grenade skill bonus?
1.
It's 1. Excellent. So that's 8. Okay, right. So you are fiddling with it more. You can see that the countdown is no longer accelerating, so they have a bit more time. It's still ticking down. Unfortunately, you've now missed your chance to get onto the lift. It has passed where you can get up. You two continue to rise up in the lift. It goes relatively quickly up and then appears in a large central cargo area. The place is rather poorly lit, and there is a terrible animal stench here. You know you've got to get through quickly.
Sorry, mate. That was me.
You can either just run for it, or you can try and sneak by in the hope that animals won't catch you. But obviously, time is oppressing. You've got about 1 minute, 10 seconds.
I would like to use some calm and my everybody pipe down stealth.
Okay, so you're going to try and sneak through. That's a good idea. So both of you make stealth checks. Because of your calmer ability, both of you also gain an extra 2 bonus. Looks very good. You got an 8 plus
8 plus whatever that is. Stealth, is it?
Yep.
I don't think it matters if you're
You
really
got
stealthy.
12, fantastic. And how did you do?
I got 3.
You got 3, plus what's your stealth bonus?
1.
1, that's 4, and it becomes 6. Okay, right, okay, so you try and sneak through as quietly as you can. Thane, now, you would have taken a large amount of damage from falling down there, or you can use your final karma point to escape death. What would you like to do?
How much damage?
It would
I'm
be...
pretty tough.
You are quite tough. So the damage is 29 points of damage.
Okay, and at what point are you actually dead?
Well, you die at a negative value equal to half your endurance. So if your endurance is 30, you would die at minus 15. But you're not conscious once you are dropped below a certain point.
How many did you say?
It's 29 points of damage.
Oh, in that case, I need to use escape death.
Right, okay. So you awake, and you can see behind you there is the rubble of the monorail. Cameron's body is lying in there. He doesn't seem to be moving. You seem to be at the bottom of a mining shaft. There are cliffs rising up on either side. The tunnel also continues on in the darkness some way, and it's not very well lit down here. You can hear there's the squawking of the bat hawks, but they seem to be far above you at the moment. What would you like to do?
Reload my auto pistol.
Okay.
And I might just take a moment. Let me just investigate Cameron's body. Like
Okay.
prodding his body with the end of my gun.
Okay, you make your way back into the carriage, over towards kind of Cameron's body. You just kind of, approach him. He's kind of lying there in quite an extreme position. You sort of bend down to him and give him a prod. No, he doesn't seem to move. He seems either unconscious or dead. You don't think you can see his chest moving.
Can I search him?
Okay.
Can I loot the body?
Yes, you can. You find on him a rather rare micro shotgun. So this is a shotgun, it's only this big, so it's pistol-sized. It has compensation jets to compensate for the enormous kind of blowback of the weapon. They're quite expensive. I think you can sell them for 47,000 credits. But they're very good guns, so you might want to consider keeping it.
Yep. Yoink.
Okay, so heading back with you, John. So, John, there's now 45 seconds left on this explosive device. Do you want to try again to disarm it, or are you going to now try and seek an escape?
Part of me just wants to shoot it.
Do you want to do that?
I'm just fed up with it. I'm just going to shoot it.
You're just going to shoot
It
the
worked
explosive device.
It worked in Under Siege Enemy Territory too, so...
Well, who am I to argue then? Right, so you pull out your laser pistol, point it at the explosives, and pull the trigger. Right, you guys, as you're sneaking through, there's suddenly a...
Sorry, just to clarify, I was aiming at the mechanism, not the explosives, yeah, because obviously there's some electronics. I wouldn't aim at the explosives.
Oh,
but,
fine.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. So you
People think
aim...
I'm stupid.
No, that's fine. So you aim at the control panel, pull the trigger, and suddenly there's a... and you feel the entire station shake. You guys kind of are thrown to the floor in the cargo bay. All kinds of cargo racks kind of collapse in various positions. Above you, Thane, rocks tumble from above as the kind of side of the chasm starts going and falling in. Things are falling with a strange kind of poetic slowness. There's only 50% gravity here. But when they land, they still land with a great force that's crushing metal and rock as it goes. You're going to have to dive aside out of the way of this. Thane, make a dodge check. This is quite rare, so you just roll it's dodge, yeah, basically. Yeah. How'd you do?
4.
4. Well, you can probably tell from my tone of voice I expected more than that.
Can I, if it's in low gravity, can I shoot the rock with the shotgun and deflect its path? That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be quite amazing, wouldn't it? Okay, you can give that a go. Roll to hit.
I don't have stats for the micro shotgun.
That's fine. So I more or less have them in memory. Now, you can wait till it gets to point-blank range to shoot it. Then you only needed 3 to hit. but you might take some injury from the falling particles. If you shoot at a medium range, the difficulty number is 8, but you're more likely to scatter the bits safely. So what would you like to do?
No, I will wait till I can see the white of its rock.
Fine. Okay, so it's a difficulty class 3, so you can only fail on a 1, I think.
Don't say that. Don't say that out loud. This dice can hear you.
Doesn't seem very likely, does it? How'd you do?
Very good.
I was slightly panicked because it's a 0, but no, that's a 10, so that's 12.
12. Okay, right. You shoot the rock. You can see it splits into multiple pieces. You're showered down with a bit of rubble, and you take 2 points of endurance damage. Are you still alive?
Yep.
Oh, very good. Okay, right. So you've managed to survive that fall. You two guys have fallen down the cargo bay with these various kind of canisters rolling. All of a sudden, your rim locks activate, and they cover your faces, covers your eyes, your nose, your ears, and your mouth. And you feel this kind of strange kind of pulling sensation on your skin. You see that there's a great big crack in the station leading straight outside. You can see there's kind of like the twinkling lights of stars coming through it. And the poisonous gas of Baijangu 3 is pouring through into the cargo hold. Now you've got about 5 minutes of air.
Where's Nadia?
Oh, yes, that's true. Nadia's with you. I completely forgotten about Nadia. Well, I think Nadia can be with you and kind of spitting and swearing at these unfortunate circumstances. You can see that she says, "We've got to get to the ship. We have to get to the ship," she says through her remlock. Now, would you make a perception check, Grant?
I certainly can. Perception of 2.
That's a 7.
That's a
not
7.
That's actually quite good. Okay, so you've rolled 9. Now, you're aware that something has just leapt from one fallen cargo canister to the next. It's quite large. It's bigger than a human being. It's moved closer, but it's not within your line of sight yet. Nadia hasn't spotted this, and you can see she says, "Come on, we've got to go."
Right, you guys run for the ship. I'm going to take this on.
That's a silly idea.
I'm going to take this on with my laser pistols. You guys go. I'm ready for it. Go. Save yourselves.
Are you going to do that?
Remember me. It was
Nadia,
John's
I think we should
fault.
probably help Grant here.
He goes, "Help him from what?" she says, rather fatally, as you can see a large beast suddenly jump out. Now, Grant, you were waiting for this beast. It is a large gorilla lion, so it very much looks like this kind of great hulking feline, but also ape-like creature with huge teeth and claws. You can try and shoot it on the way. It's pretty big. So it's got a defense of 3, and you are only 10 meters away from it. So what are you shooting it with?
I've only got laser pistols.
Fine. Okay, so is that short or medium range for a laser pistol?
For 10, it's going to be...
That's short range then, that's fine. So you will need a 7 to hit on your energy weapons. Do you want to make a roll?
Oh, yeah.
Lovely. Good luck.
Will you pick me up if I get splattered?
Apparently not.
Will you carry me? 8!
That's a hit. Okay, right, so you shoot the gorilla lion, but your laser pistol is really too light to make much of a difference. It tries to savage her. Okay, so that's not good enough. It tries to leap upon her, but because Nadia is now aware that it's coming, she rolls aside as the great beast kind of slams in front of all of you. Thane, just coming back with you, you can still see that the kind of rocks are falling down in slow motion, just smaller ones this time. Your remlock has suddenly activated, and you can see up in the corner that you have 5 minutes of oxygen left. So obviously the base has been breached by this enormous explosion. Now, do you want to climb up the sides, or do you want to go further down the tunnel?
I am going to... I'm going to run down the tunnel.
Okay, you go running down the tunnel. You turn the light on your wrist comm on as you kind of dash forward to give yourself a little bit of light. As you move down, eventually you come to an area which has been tunneled out more. There's a more perfectly circular tunnel. And as you move into it, you can see there's kind of a silvery glittering that is coming from the sides of the tunnel. You recognize, because you saw it earlier, this looks like it's the main osmium vein that you've come into. There'll be a fortune of osmium here, if it can be extracted. And so it's kind of surrounding you very much like fool's gold. But you also kind of realize that if you linger, you might run out of oxygen. So it's up to you. Do you want to try and extract any, or are you moving on?
Or it's for fools. I'm gonna leg it.
Fine. Okay, you run on down the tunnel, and eventually you can see that there is a ladder that has been put in the side. There is a long kind of chute that runs all the way upwards. It looks like it's a way out, and it doesn't seem to have collapsed in the explosion.
Yeah, go for it. I'll take it.
Okay, you start to clamber up that. Right, with you guys, what would you like to do, Edelweiss? The gorilla line is now sort of in between the three of you. It's kind of in the middle. It's you just want to shoot it, yep? Yeah. Okay, right, you stay where you are and open fire. So he is only 8 meters away from you.
Okay, I've got an energy of +3.
And what are you shooting it with?
Laser pistol.
A laser pistol, okay.
I know it's not going to do anything.
Not a lot. But that is, in fact, enough to hit it. So it is hurt, but all you've really done is stung it. You can see that the gorilla lion snarls at you, and you see it goes and starts charging towards you. Grant, you can have another opportunity to shoot it, and Nadia can as well. So would you like to make a shot? It's the same difficulty as last time,
Sure.
which is 7. Come on, Nadia.
Do you have any bonuses I can add to this?
Nadia's got a good one, hasn't she?
I think she has.
I think she has, yeah.
She's got a shotgun.
8.
She's missed. You've hit. You do 8 points of damage. Nadia's shotgun kind of clicks into place. But unfortunately, she goes wide. She's too cautious because you guys are in the way. And so her shot is pulled too far to the side. The gorilla lion charges at you. It's kind of arms extending. Would you like to parry or dodge the gorilla lion?
I'm dodging.
Dodge, I think it is. Yeah, dodge.
So there's parry, defense parry.
Yeah, I'll dodge.
You want to dodge. Okay, right, so you attempt to dodge. What's your dodge skill?
2.
2, so you don't need to roll, I just need to roll to hit. Okay, so I'm going to need a 7 to hit you. And I've got +3. I do just about miss. Right, okay, so you dive aside at the last moment as it tries to kind of grapple you in its arms. It snarls brutally. I'm trying to think of an imaginative way that John Stabler could still be alive.
You can escape death as well, but...
Yeah, maybe that was just a clone, and I don't know. Do you want to spend all your karma and do an escape death? Because that's... you don't have a lot of choice, in fairness.
No, well, I'll do it. I mean,
Okay.
I'm a hero.
Okay, fine, yeah, well, yeah, a real hero as well. John, you awaken a little time later. You're covered over in rubble. There's a strange numb feeling in your arm. You're not quite sure what it is. As you sort of wake up, it starts to feel quite stingy, and then it goes from stingy to being in great agony. You can't really see where you are. There isn't any light. What would you like to do?
Can I feel anything around me?
Okay,
or
right.
completely buried.
So you managed to move your other arm sort of over, and yeah, you're obviously encased in rock. You have been sort of buried. You've got movements in one arm. You feel over to your other arm, down to sort of about your elbow, and then you stop feeling your arm, and it doesn't seem to be there anymore.
Oh,
you also feel a great sort of wetness of blood as well, and a horrible sort of sickening sensation.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is this my left or my right arm?
It is your left arm.
Okay, I can cope with this. Can I try my comms?
Okay, so your comms is on your left arm, unfortunately.
But I'm right-handed.
Yeah, but that means that you'd have it on your left arm, so that you could look at it like that and operate it with your right. Sorry, my logic is unassailable. I'll let you think about what you want to do. Thane, you're clambering up the ladder as fast as you can. You can do it with quite some speed. The gravity is low here, so you can almost sort of, bounce your way up as you're making your way to the top.
With
and you
two arms.
With both arms, yep. Only one eye, but both arms. You manage to sort of get up to the very top, and there you can see that there is a circular hatch in front of you. It's got a turny thing to twist around. So you sort of wedge your feet in the rungs and kind of give it a twist. It's stiff, but it does open up.
Okay.
Opens up, and you can see that you sort of emerge into the station lab. Okay. I think I have the lab here. Yes, here we are. Okay, so this large room is a mineral analysis lab. It has been ruined and ransacked, the equipment smashed, and mineral supplies stolen. The back window is cracked in several places from kinetic weapon fire. A horrible munching sound can be heard, and peering inside, you can see two large reptilian-looking wolves eating the dead bodies of several scientists.
Okay.
What you like to do, so you're by a hatch in this room, in the corner. This is obviously the mineral analysis lab, and they've put in this hatch so they can have convenient access to the osmium supplies. Now, the wolves are at the back of the room, and currently they seem to be quite happy eating. You could either try and do a surprise attack on them, or you can try and sneak to the exit that will lead to the main corridor. You've got 4 minutes of oxygen left.
Yeah, so I will attempt to sneak. Because the window's already damaged.
It's damaged. It hasn't been shattered yet.
Yeah, I'm going to try and sneak.
Fine. Make a stealth check. So roll a d10.
That one rolls 2s. I'm not touching it. I have that one.
This is the problem with having identical dice, isn't it, to roll?
Yay, 10.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, right, so you sneak as quiet as a mouse, with your heart thumping in your chest, and you manage to get back to the open corridor that leads to the security office and the med bay. Back with you guys. Right, Grant, it's your go now. Would you like to open fire on the the gorilla lion that's in front of you? Or do you want to make a run for it, or?
I think it's time to make a run for it.
You're going to, okay, right, so you kind of dash past. You can see that Nadia tries to empty her shotgun into it. She gets him a good hit. Is it enough? So that is 16 plus 5. That is, that's 21. You can see that the gorilla lion is struck in the side of the head. You see kind of part of its head explodes and its body crashes to the ground with a great groan. You can hear a sympathetic howling from further in the cargo bay. And Nadia says, I think you're right. We should probably go. Edelweiss, what would you want to do?
Run to the ship, get on my comms and say, are you guys still alive down there?
Okay, so you come dashing out of the cargo hold. Now, you're currently at the north end of the base. Your ships are on the south end. You have 3 minutes of oxygen left. You know that the pirates' Cobra, or not pirates, the mercenaries' Cobra, is in the north side of the base in Docking Bay 1. Currently, it should still be locked down. Yeah. I think you've unlocked your ships, haven't you?
No, we left them both.
Oh, you've left them all locked. But now you've got access. You should be able to, and then your heart sinks. You look at your RISCOM, and because the explosives have gone off, you can no longer issue an instruction to the computer. Your ships are still locked in place.
This is your fault, Stacey.
And your oxygen will run out in 3 minutes. Now, do you want to make your way to your ships anyway?
We don't need to take off to get oxygen.
Okay, you want to make a dash?
Dash it. See what we can do there. Maybe you can hack it from your home ship.
Right, okay, you start running down to the south side of the base. You're kind of a heart thumping in your chest. You can see your oxygen supply is diminishing as you run faster and faster. Nadia is running with you. Blah, 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 blah. Have you thought of anything that you would like to do, Mr. Stabler? Or
Well,
is
I'm
this...
right-handed.
Yep.
I've lost my left. I've lost my comms.
Yep.
Do I still at least have my laser pistol in my right hand?
Yes, I think, we'll allow that. Okay, so you have your laser pistol in your right hand.
What do you want me to do, guys?
You're thinking of taking the gentlemanly way out, are you?
I'm just, well,
You're not going to search through the rubble for your arm? You've got your RISCOMs on.
I'm more concerned about getting out of the rubble. Can I just shoot my pistol to see if it'll...
What? Just, okay, right, so you shoot your pistol at sort of one bit, there's kind of like a glowing dent. It doesn't have any impact force, which is a shame. But eventually you kind of shoot another one, and as you shoot another rock, you can see you've blown a hole in it, and actually you're only covered by a relatively thin covering of rocks in that section.
How lucky is that? Great, I'm going to dig up.
Okay, right, so you try and force out with your arm. I'd like you to make an athletics check and see if you still have enough strength to get out. Okay, so make a check.
Oh, I'm a
3.
bit out of shape with a bonus of 1.
You're still trapped, and your oxygen is running low. Right, okay. Thane, you've gone out into the corridor, and as you do so, you can see that Psycho Cow and Edelweiss are dashing down the corridor as if they're being chased by something. Nadia is coming far behind. She's just got a basic rebreather in her, across her mouth. She might not last terribly long with that. You can see that you've got about sort of 2.5 minutes of oxygen left. You're anticipating they do as well. So you 3 have all met up together in the same corridor.
Guys, wait up.
Whoa!
I'm not waiting. Oh. Did you say what up or wait up?
What up? No. Wait up.
I'm
Right.
not chopping waiting.
You can see,
Keep running. Run
you can
faster.
see that Thane is missing an eyeball. It's quite a disturbing sight. You can see that kind of, Nadia stops in front and goes, "Oh my God, look at that. Are you all right?"
You should see the other guy.
"Come on," she says. "We need to get into your ship."
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
Okay, so John, make
Can anyone hear anything?
another athletics check.
Athletics ain't my thing. Ooh, 8.
8 plus you have another 1, so that's 8. No, you've done that. Sorry, you've done the calculation. Well done. You could do 7 plus 1. Very good. Right, you managed to haul the rocks off you, just so that your sort of body is free. You kind of haul your way out. You can see that sort of blood is still coming sort of from your arm. Your vision is starting to blur. There isn't very much light in here. You can see there's a single emergency exit light just sort of off to the north where you think the cargo lift was. You have no idea if that's still going to be functioning. Now, do you want to just stagger towards the cargo lift, or are you going to try and find your arm and therefore your wrist gone?
I'm trying to find out if I got a belt so I can make a tourniquet. Oh, I got a medikit.
You do have a medikit. Would you like to get that out and try and treat yourself?
Apply it immediately.
That's probably very wise. Okay, so make a medicine check. Because you've only got one hand, I think...
But it's the good one.
Because it is the good one. Make a check, but you can't add your medicine skill bonus.
Oh.
So 3. So you recover... I'll tell you what, you can put yourself on 10 endurance. We'll say you were down to 7 when you got blown up. You've stopped the bleeding in your arm. That's a good thing. You've now got 2 minutes of air left. You guys run down to secondary customs, where your ships are based, run through, and there you can see there's the micro monorails. All the lights are off on it, and the doors are currently closed. You've got about 1.5 minutes of oxygen left.
Hey, get the monorails back online.
Nadia, how do we get these things back up?
It looks like there's been a severance with the power systems. It shouldn't take very much power. Maybe you can hook up the emergency lights to the doors, get them open. Can you do that?
We can try.
Okay, right. So you sort of get out your technical kit, grab a power cable and start ripping off the panel with great speed. Make a repair roll. Don't worry, just leave it on the floor. Look it up later.
7.
7. Okay, right. So you kind of plug the power in. There's a... You can see that one of the doors has just slightly shifted along.
8.
Oh, 8. Oh, that's all right. So one of the doors has opened up, and I will say that it is the door to your ship, Psycho Cow. So your ship, you've now got access to it. The monorail system is offline, but there is a long tunnel that leads down to where your docking bay, where your ship is in the docking bay. You could just physically run down it if you wanted.
I'm only flying a sidewinder, if I remember rightly, so I'm not going to fit everybody in.
I've got an adder.
An adder might be able to get everyone in and keep them alive.
All right, I think we'll try and help.
Right, keep looking for to get my one out.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so you kind of look on Thane, hopefully, just kind of, willing them to get the door open. John, okay, so you've just done a nice bit of medicine on yourself. There's 1.5 minutes left. What would you like to do now?
I just focused on getting out of there.
Okay, right, you start staggering towards the green emergency exit light, still sort of every so often almost feeling like you're going to black out and sort of holding onto the sides of the wall with your good arm. You're getting closer to the lift, and there you can, as you approach, you sort of look at it, you realise that the lift is raised. It's on the top floor. It hasn't come back down yet. Do you want to try and summon it?
Yeah, I haven't got much
Okay,
option.
you go.
really.
Right, you press the button. It's not moving.
I'm glad you didn't make me roll for that.
To press the button on the lift.
Now, I'm assuming that because I was buried under rubble,
Yep.
that there would have been some air trapped under there, so it's only now that I'm losing oxygen.
No, you'd assume wrongly. So you've still only got sort of, about a minute and 10 seconds left. Now, what you could do, you could try and climb up the shaft, or you can try and fix the lift.
Hang on.
Don't we have the conveyor belt thing as well?
There is mineral transfer if the power is still running to it, yeah.
Oh, well, the power's buggered.
That is quite risky,
I like the idea of John.
because
and
it's
the
full
lift.
of crushing machines and
I'm all
things.
about
The sort of
risk.
lift music.
You want to go down mineral transfer?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, right, so you dash back to the tunnel. You can see you've got about 50 seconds left.
What's funny is John hasn't heard the previous episode with mineral transfer. You might regret that.
You start running towards that. Would you make another repair check on the door? Oh, that's lovely. So that's 11?
Yeah. 9, 10, 11, 12. 'cause it's plus
12. Okay, right. You can see the door opens up to the monorail that leads to your adder. Do you want to make a run for it?
down here, chaps.
Okay.
And Nadia.
Right, okay. Nadia's coming with you, and as she starts staggering down, you can see that her rebreather just falls from her mouth, and you see she's going, and she is choking. Looks like her oxygen, she didn't have a REM lock. So she had an emergency oxygen mask, and it looks like it is now kaput. Are you going to leave her? Are you going to drag her? What do you want to do?
How close are we to the inside of the ship?
It's not far to the opposing door now. You're nearly there.
Take her.
Do you want?
Take her.
Yep. Who's going to take her?
And
I'll
I'll
take her if no
take
one
this
else
fine,
wants
because I've got, well, I don't know if I'll be any good at
I've got
using
two
it.
eyes, but it's my ship, so I might need to open the door.
I am so tired.
Who's going to drag her? You want to?
I'll drag her.
Okay, right. You put your arm under Nadia and sort of drag her forward. Her face is sort of kind of almost kind of going puffy.
I'm assuming I can't do,
now.
because of a REM, like I can't sort of breathe air into her and things.
It's very difficult. You'd have to just
Yeah.
give your REM lock to her.
How far is it? How far away is it?
You might be able to hold your breath. I mean, you've got to make your way a few meters to the opposing door, open that door, then get in your ship.
Bollocks, I'll do that.
Okay, right, you rip off your REM lock and stick it over her, you know, after you take a good deep breath, of course, and you can see she goes, oh Christ, oh, thanks a lot, there's only 20 seconds of air left on it. You go rushing over to the door, kind of holding your breath, your kind of, cheeks going purple. You come up to the opposing door, and you can see that's closed as well. You can either make a security check, or you can do a repair roll to open it up. What would you like to do?
Repair.
Okay. Oh, very good. So that's 12, your old natural 10. Okay, right. In a matter of moments, you reassign power to the door. It opens up, and there you see the most glorious sight ever. Your ship is sitting there, pristine. The docking clamp's still locked on it, but it is there. You could gain
And you
access
have
to it.
air.
Okay, you press the button. You see the stairs come down from the adder, and you go dashing in. John.
Hey.
Okay, so you're in the mineral transfer tunnel. You have 30 seconds of air left. You start dashing down for dear life. You can see as you run that there's no power in the mineral transfer tunnel. You can see the kind of big crushing stampers that are designed to smash the mineral samples as they come up seem to be just frozen in place at the moment. But you do see there's flickering lights sort of, kind of going on and off down the tunnel.
We turned the fire off.
Do you want to... yes, you did turn the fire off, so there's no chance of any fire.
It's also running at double speed. Are you sure you want those crunchers to be stationary?
Well, I mean, obviously you'll have to crawl under them, but that's just sort of life.
Well, I'm scrambling for my life, so...
Absolutely. Right, so you start crawling under. You get under the first set, and you also get under the second set without difficulty. Then suddenly there's a... You see lights suddenly flicker along the tunnel, and the stampers ahead of you go... The conveyor belt starts, moving you inexorably closer to them. Right, you can see that your oxygen goes down to 3, 2, 1, and it's gone. You go... Your oxygen is out. Right, you're going to dash under the stampers?
Yeah, I'm going to Indiana Jones the head out of this.
That seems great. Make an athletics check. The difficulty number is 7. Oh, very good.
That's good.
10 is max. 10 is max. That's a 10.
I thought it was 0.
No.
That's just like my real athleticism.
No, obviously the John Stabler in Elite Dangerous is a hulking brute, who has trained out in the gym, since the age of 5. So
I am running around after just lost an arm.
absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, you've done very well. Right. Okay. You dash under the stampers and between them as they sort of kind of crush in front of you, and run out the other end. You can kind of feel your chest begin to get very, very tight. The open access door to the mineral transfer room is in front of you, and you sort of stagger out onto the walkway. Your head is beginning to swim, and you sort of clutch onto it. I don't suppose you have an enhancement called Hard to Kill, have you? It'll be there, if so. I don't know what you got. You have... So you got Strong. So, no. So the short answer is you don't have it. So I want you to make another athletics check. The difficulty number is currently 3. In order to keep your breath held. So you're fine for the moment, and you keep staggering down. The rest of you dash into the adder, and as you run into the airlock, and it kind of closes behind you, and you feel the air rush in, you rip off your rem locks and... Okay, so you can see sort of Nadia is kind of slumped onto the floor. She's still looking very sick. She's obviously breathed in a little bit of the atmosphere of the planet, which is 98% carbon dioxide. So it's absolutely raked her lungs.
Can I just ask a quick lore question?
Sure,
This is going to be contentious. Is Michael Brooks still in the room?
Of course.
I don't know. Rem locks. Once a rem lock is expended, when you go back into an environment with atmosphere, does it auto-refill, or does it have to be refilled by a manufacturer?
No, it can refill. So you can just kind of set it to kind of refill with oxygen. It takes about a minute.
Okay.
Would you like to do that? Yep. Okay, so your rem locks start sucking in oxygen. Okay, you 3 are safe. Ben, you make your way to the front of the adder and flick the power on.
Spare rem lock, by the way, that I can get for myself.
No, you're a new...
It's a 2-seater rem lock thing.
It is a 2-seater.
I would have a second.
Rule 1, Aid. Rule 1.
So
always have spare rem locks.
Oh, exactly. You always have a rem lock.
That's fine, although you're all sort of starting new characters, so no. But your rem lock is recharging as we speak.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about poor Nadia.
Oh, well, I mean, Nadia is now in an oxygenated environment. She's doing as well as she can, but someone might need to have a look at her while she's kind of getting her breath back, quite literally. John, right, you emerge from mineral transfer, your head kind of, buzzing, your brain feeling like it's going to burst. You can, looking up and down, you realize, of course, you don't know this facility very well, having just sort of magically appeared for no good reason. And you don't know whether you have to run to the south side of the base or the top side of the base. But maybe as a clue, you can hear from the north side, there is the sound of... Sounds like a spaceship engine is really, really over-revving.
I don't like the sound of that. I'm going the other way.
You're going to go the other way. Excellent. Okay, so you make your way down south. Now, you may laugh, but actually he's made the right decision there. Make an athletics check. The difficulty number is 5.
Can we start testing me on athletics?
Nope. Find some oxygen, you'll be fine.
6 + 1 is 7.
Okay, stars start flashing in front of your eyes as you dash down the corridor. You're just sort of bashing from side to side on the corridor. Kind of, your eyes kind of going boggly. The rest of you kind of, having a nice drink on the ship, consider your situation. The docking clamps are still on. There doesn't seem to be any good way, certainly from here, to release them. You're probably going to have to go outside the ship again at some point to release them. On your sensors, you can see that another ship has activated and its power supply has come on. And that's kind of, about half a kilometer, sort of more or less directly ahead of you. You're still in the docking bay and the seals are over the top. What would you like to do?
Do I have a decent way to do an EVA in my spaceship?
Yeah, so you've got a spacesuit. So if you put on your spacesuit, that really is a very good way.
Let's
That
probably
gives
do
you 8
that
hours.
then.
Fine.
I'm going to suit up.
Fine.
And
Right.
haven't I still got to get back to my ship?
I mean,
So why don't I suit up, do the docking clamps, head to mine?
As long as I get my suit back again, I don't mind. And do you really want to put my suit on?
We'll talk about that later.
okay, right. You start putting the suit on. John, you emerge into a place called secondary customs. You're really, really bursting now, and your lungs feel like they're on fire. Ahead of you, you can see that 2 doors have opened up. One of them probably is the correct one, and the other is the incorrect one. Now,
Can I choose the correct one, please?
okay. So, would you like to go to docking bay 7 or docking bay 8?
8 every time, baby.
Right. You run down docking bay 8, and you're a fluky bastard, because that is, in fact, the one with the adder in it. You come dashing down the kind of tunnel, but it's just feeling slightly too long. Make an athletics check. The difficulty number is 8. Six plus, what's your athletics?
7 plus 1.
7. Oh, okay, right. You stagger to within such a close range of the adder before finally, you collapse to the ground. However, at that moment, coming out in his spacesuit comes Thane. So Thane, you emerge, and there you can see that John Stabler is lying only about 3 feet from the kind of access hatch to the adder.
Thane says, "Who the hell is this?"
I'd have thought Thane would have said, I owe him 200 credits.
Thane says, "I definitely don't know who this is."
Can I have
Guys, we've got another one out here.
What?
There's some guy with one arm lying on the floor.
Describe him.
Are you going to drag him into the ship, or is this? Are you going to drag him into the ship, or is this the end of
I'll
John
drag him
Stabler?
into the ship.
Fine. Okay, right. You haul John into the ship, and you can the door kind of the airlock closes, and finally atmosphere comes in. But he's unconscious. He's missing an arm. He's got severe oxygen deprivation. He's not getting back up for a bit. Thane, you re-emerge back into the docking bay. You can now feel there's kind of almost a shuddering sound across the place. It feels like maybe a fissure is cracking or something. You have a look at the docking clamps. They're sort of they're magnetic clamps. They're still on. They obviously still have power to them. There must be a separate power supply here. What would you like to do?
Look for the power supply.
Okay, right. You can either make a repair check or a perception check. Either is fine.
I know it's here somewhere. Oh, it's there. What's perception?
Perception is down in espionage.
Oh, okay. Oh, in that case, definitely a repair check.
Okay, right. So make a repair check.
Yay, natural 10.
That's very good.
These
Okay,
guys are much better.
right then. You know where the power supply in a standard small pad is. Make your way over to it. Open up the hatch, and there you can see there's the big kind of power sockets that it's on emergency power at the moment. You should just be able to flick the handle and turn off the power.
I'll do that then.
Right, so you feel the ship goes and just shifts slightly in place as the magnetic locks have come free. The sort of securing magnets are still there, but there's no power running to them. So your ship is free. Thane, you want to try and make your way to your ship, do you?
Yes.
Okay, right, so you make your way back down the corridor. You two guys, you can still see that there's this other power signature. And you see every so often it sort of flickers on your screen. It's doing something odd.
And it's...
What? I'm in your cockpit. I don't know what you mean.
I'm just thinking,
Let's go and look
if there's
at
another
it.
ship that's taking off, I want to fly over there.
Target
and
it, let's go
shoot
see.
it with my lasers while it's locked in docking clamps.
Okay. What happened if it happened to be a school outing?
You can get on the comms while I'm shooting them.
All right, no problems.
Okay, right, so you kind of open up the top part of the docking bay. Your adder raises up, and as it does so, you can see that another ship has kind of come up. There is a Cobra Mark III, and you can see that it is busting against the magnetic clamps that are holding it in place. The pilot in there is just desperately over-revving a ship and trying to get it up. And currently he's there, but you can see there's numerous stress lines across the bottom of the Cobra Mark III. Do you want to just open fire and shoot it while it's there?
Well, can we target the thrusters?
That could be possible. Do you have, well, currently it's locked in place, so you actually can do that. It's a relatively... Do you want to fly into the ideal position to do it, i.e. behind the Cobra?
Yes.
Okay, right, you start flying behind, and you can see that this pilot realizes that he really is in terrible trouble now. He thrusts all his power into the ship. You can see that as he strains, the bottom of the ship is starting to peel away. And there's a... Finally, the Cobra rips free, but there's a great shower of sparks and kind of a falling of metal as it comes up. You can see that its shields go and blow out. There seems to be all kinds of damage that's been inflicted to it. And the ship is just sort of barely maintaining its flight.
Bang, bang, bang.
You want to open up? Do you just want to do a standard shot, or are you aiming for the thrusters?
Should we aim for the thrusters? Or
Yeah, try and take it down.
Okay, right, in which case you need to roll to hit. The difficulty number is only 5, because he hasn't yet managed to get to maneuvering speed. What are you firing with?
What do I don't know. What am I firing with?
What guns are on your adder?
I have 3 fixed pulse lasers.
3 fixed pulses. Well, sounds like it's going to be them. Okay, so make an attack roll for the first one.
Is that on this sheet or is that on
It's
the
on
sheet?
that sheet. Oh, no, you don't. So your to hit is going to be your spaceship weapons, which is 4 plus another 2. So it's plus 6. So basically you'll hit on a 2.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one hits. It strikes the thrusters. That's 10 points of damage, isn't it?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so you can see that the kind of the thrusters fizzle a bit, but they are not out yet. Do you want to fire another?
Keep on shooting.
Okay, roll to attack.
9.
9. Okay, so that's also hit. You've done more damage to it. They're still intact. How'd you do? Another hit?
That's another hit. 7 plus 6, whatever it is.
Fantastic. Okay, right. So his thrusters, they've actually got 5 health points left. So they're just about sort of hanging on. And you can see that he realizes he'll have to defend himself. His remaining thrusters sort of ignite, and he starts to swoop towards you. Thane, you kind of emerge back into secondary customs. You know that I think your docking bay is docking bay number 6 from memory. You come up to the door. You'll have to open up. You've seen how he does it, so you just try and repeat what he did. That'll be a repair check of 4.
Yep, 9.
Fine. You open up the door and make your way down the tunnel over towards your ship. And in the meantime, you and this Cobra are going to have a fight. I want you to roll your initiative. So roll a d10, add your initiative.
That is somewhere here.
Just that.
2. 4.
Let's see, and I've got 8. So he's going to go first. Now, both of you, because this is quite unusual, you're very, very near each other, so you both start up close. So this guy is going to try and dogfight you. So what I want to do is roll a d10, add your dogfighting bonus.
50. Is that...
That's very good. Okay, he'll do the same. So he's rolled 15 exactly, and you got...
6 plus... Is that 50?
Oh, no. No.
Oh, your bonus is 5.
Right, so yeah, your defense is going to be your agility plus your spaceship piloting. Agility is 5. So what's your... Is it 5? So your defense is 30. Yeah, your dogfighting will be 13, and so will your defense.
13.
Yeah, so if you change both those to 13.
I don't know how I got 13.
More technical malfunctions.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've rolled a 6. Add that to your 13 dogfighting.
13. That would be 19 then?
19, yes. Right, so you managed to outmaneuver the Cobra as it kind of, is moving along. It's really, really struggling. You managed to get behind it again. You could try to target the engines. It's much more difficult this time. Or you could just go for a general shot on the Cobra.
I just want to keep shooting this bugger.
Well, I'll give him comms.
You got him comms. I'm going to keep shooting him.
Okay.
Okay.
Pilot of the Cobra, power down and land, or we will destroy you.
And I'm going to emphasize that.
Okay, so roll to attack. Now, to target the thrusters is very difficult. His defense is 12. And
We're not targeting, I'm just shooting him.
just
down.
shooting, right. So it's the difficulty number to hit is 12 then. So just roll to attack. You got +6 each time. So that one hits. That's 10 points of damage. His hull is already only this. Okay, roll to attack for the next one. That also hits. Very good. And the last one? Yes, so that's 3 hits. So you do 3 solid hits with your pulse lasers onto the already badly damaged Cobra. And actually, this is enough to pretty much change his mind. You can see him go, all right, just don't hand me over to the Empire. I can't go to Bastopolis. He goes, you can have the ship. He goes, just don't take me to the Empire.
Oh, I've not thought this through. I've not thought this through.
Right.
What are we going to do with the hostage?
Space him later.
We'll have to land and pick him up.
You can get into that thing and you just keep him in the airlock, just unlock the airlock. That's fine, we can do that.
What he said.
So what are you going to say to him?
Power down, land.
Make your way over. We'll land as well. And
Yeah,
into our airlock.
yeah, shoot him down.
Shoot him.
Just shoot him. Never mind. Delay that order. So we've changed our mind. We're just gonna kill you anyway.
Right. Just tell him to land and we'll come and get him.
It's
Tell
just
him to-
easier to kill
No,
him
just
then.
tell him to land and then it's easier.
Should I turn the comms? Should I have turned the comms off for that conversation?
Just tell him.
Right, it's too late now. Right, what would you like to do as your action? You can either ram him or do a dogfight. You could turn your flight assist off. I wouldn't recommend it in a gravity environment. You'll just fall
I'll
to the ground.
dogfight him again.
Okay, right, so make a dogfighting check. Okay, so 16.
4 plus 13, so
17. Okay, right, so you just about managed to stay on his tail. Roll to attack him again. I don't think he'll last very
7
much longer. That's a
plus
hit.
4, yeah.
And one more would do it.
Yeah.
Okay, right, you do a final kind of a shot into the back of the ship. The already damaged Cobra just kind of buckles. You can see the side of its wing blows off, and it goes into a death spiral down just to the side of the base. And there is a thunderous explosion.
Ben, I kind of hope that wasn't Thane's ship. He's gonna be pissed.
I won't tell him if you don't.
Okay, 2 days later, you are all back at Leasty, some of you in the hospital, repairing, replacing various limbs. You can see that Claire Valance comes down actually to see you all in the hospital waiting room. And you can see that she's actually relatively apologetic. She says, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realize that this mission would be quite so dangerous. Honestly, I just expected that there'd be a little bit of local difficulty with the mining staff. I had no idea about this. We've done an investigation. These mercenaries seem to come from a company called Digibeti Mining. They're a fairly large mining interest in this area. Evidently, they don't like the idea of Bastopolis coming in. Apparently, they think we're going to take over the place. Well, not yet, but, in time. I'm willing to double your fee from 40,000 to 80,000 credits, just on one small condition. It's come to our attention that you have probably discovered that the reason for Learman Station is that it mines a very valuable ore. It's important this information doesn't get out. So I'm willing to pay you 80,000 now, and I'll pay you another 80,000 in 1 year's time if none of you breathe a word about what the operations are here.
What or? What or?
You are a gentleman, Mr. Edelweiss. You can see that she hands over a data slate. Here are your payments. And the Bastopolis Mining and the Empire. Thank you. Good luck with that limb. That looks nasty.
With my money, can I buy an arm, like a robot arm?
You could have a bionic arm if you like. It would cost, about 30,000. Or for half of that, you can have a genetically identical replacement to your current arm, unless you are allergic to progenitor cells.
No, robot arm.
A robot arm, fine. Okay, sauntering away with your robot arm and maybe ordinary new eye, maybe. You make your way off to the bar at George Lucas Station for an extremely well-deserved pint of Asp Exploder.
See, guys? Told you. Easy money.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Oliver. I know we've overrun a little, and I'm sure people will want to be running off to get some food soon, but does anybody have any questions before we close down for the evening?
Does anybody want me to shame my D10 with a hammer?
No, let them go and get something to eat.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Kindest GM ever. Couldn't kill myself even if I tried.
Thank you very much. No, I was laughing because when you said about going